Hey Timberline, some cool news to share with you. Sight and Sound just announced that they are going to offer their presentation of Jesus to you for free this weekend. So the link is in the email below, and you can go there anytime, Friday through Sunday, and watch the live production of Jesus. I saw it twice myself, and both times it significantly impacted how I see the Gospels and how I relate to Jesus, and also showed me a new picture of identity and who we are. So I'd encourage you and your families to give that a look at this weekend. One other thing that we're allowed to still do, at least here in Lancaster County, is to go to the parks where we can participate in passive and dispersed recreation. What that means practically is that the bathrooms are closed, the amenities are closed, there's probably not park rangers, but the trails are still open. Granted, this is Lancaster County, not Chester County. So the other day, AJ and I took a walk out in a park. We found a new park in Lancaster that I had never been to. So I encourage you, there's a list on Lancaster County's website of all the parks that you can go to. You should go check out a new one. Anyway, so we're walking through this park and we're having a conversation about the budding trees. And it amazes me that trees obviously don't think, they don't process, and they don't listen to instructions. But somehow all the trees know when it's time to bud, and simultaneously they all bud together and then eventually bear fruit. No human goes out and turns on the trees. They don't water themselves or decide when springtime should start. But all the trees, if they are healthy, bud at the same time and then bear fruit together. I dare say they don't try to do this. It just happens to them. So there were other trees that we saw as we walked around, and these trees either weren't healthy or were dead. Obviously, some of them were cut down and laying on the ground. And these trees aren't budding. They're not budding now, they won't bud in the future, and they will never bear fruit. You can probably see where this is going. Jesus likens us to trees on multiple occasions. And he also tells us that we should bear fruit. Those are the words that he uses. That us as Christians, we should go and bear fruit. So being a works-minded person, in my head, I often think that I need to go and do more fruit making. I need to decide that it's springtime, and I need to go water it myself and do lots of good things so that I can make fruit happen, because Jesus wants us to make fruit, right? I'll keep my attitude the way it is, I'll keep my motivation the same, and I'll do it my way. But at the end of the day, as long as there's fruit, that's a good thing. Not really. Jesus says in John 15 that Jesus is the vine, and that we humans, we're just branches. And just like trees, if a branch is in the vine, it bears fruit. But if a branch is detached or broken off, it literally rots. And usually I collect those branches and then burn them in a fire. In Matthew 7, Jesus puts it really simply. Good trees just bear good fruit. And bad trees simply can't. It's not an action, it's a passive thing. Good trees bear good fruit. And the same is true for us. Our vine is Jesus. And when we abide in Jesus, our lives will bear good fruit. It doesn't say we have to make good fruit. It says when we abide, we will bear good fruit. A natural response in a good tree is good fruit. When we abide in Jesus, patience, self-control, goodness, love, faithfulness, gentleness, these things ooze out of us as natural responses to a healthy branch in its root system. Healthy, watered, sunshine growing. When we abide in our vine, we will naturally bear these things. So the point is, bearing fruit is a great thing, and it's something that we're supposed to do. We should bear fruit, but we don't bear fruit because we have good ideas, or because our ministries are going well, or the budget is full. We can only bear fruit when we're soaking in and abiding in Jesus and his words. When we are abiding in him, our hearts change. Our motivation changes. We change. And when that change is taking place inside of our hearts because we're abiding in him, we will bear fruit, because it will be that season and that time. And like trees, it will just flow out of us. This was challenging to me because I want to do things. I want to make it happen. But I don't need greater ideas. I don't need more motivation. I need to set my eyes on Jesus and abide, and the rest will follow. There's a song shared in the email, and one of the lines says, I fear no foe with thee at hand to bless. Ills have no weight, and tears no bitterness. Where is death's sting, and where grave thy victory? I triumph still, if thou abide with me. If thou abide with me. Jesus says, abide in me and I in you. And then fruit will happen. And then the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, will come out of us. Ills will have no weight and tears no bitterness, because we are abiding in the vine. So Timberline, I invite you today, where is your focus? And are you abiding in the vine?